memberships are now open. You will get 4 extra videos, cute custom emojis and badges, and access to member-only polls for 99p per month. So that will be 1 extra video a week, pretty much. There's no pressure to join, like I like to say. There's no pressure to join whatsoever. This is just an option for those who are interested in some extra content, or who maybe just want to support the channel further. In the description will be the link to the memberships and also the links and the credits to the original posters and their stories. But yeah, if you liked the video, please give it a like, comment down below if there's anything you'd like to see from me, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. But let's just get into the video. I have my trusty. Okay. So this first one is by Carolina_diary. It's titled, "Am I overreacting for cutting off my dad and my boyfriend after I found out my dad gave him a card to leave me?" So there is 2 screenshots of a text message thread. But basically the rundown is well, let me read you the caption first actually. "I'm 18 and this happened a couple weeks ago, but I'm still not okay. I was dating someone for a few months, and even though it wasn't super long, it felt really deep. We were close. We texted all the time, called at night, sent music and random stuff. He was 21 and didn't come from a perfect background. He worked part-time and didn't have a car, and was still figuring things out. He usually walked or got rides from friends, and he never made me feel like that was a problem. I liked him the way he was and how he made me feel. But my dad hated him from the start. He kept saying I deserved better, someone with a future. He thought this guy would only drag me down. It got to a point where he'd make comments even when my boyfriend was around, like I was wasting myself or throwing my life away. Then out of nowhere, my boyfriend completely cut me off. No explanation. He blocked me everywhere. I thought I did something wrong. I felt sick for days, replaying everything in my head. A few days ago, I texted him from another number. I asked for the truth, and he told me. He said my dad offered him his car if he left me alone and disappeared. He said my dad told him I deserved someone better and that he would never accept him anyway. And he accepted it. He said he needed it and thought it was for my own good." The screenshots are from that conversation. I told him he let my dad make the decision for both of us. He just said sorry that he never meant to hurt me, but he already did. I told him he was done with me forever. I feel like I never mattered to either of them. Like I was just passed over and pushed aside. And now I don't even know how to feel. Part of me wonders if he did it because he really thought he was helping me, or if he just used it as an excuse to walk away. I don't know if I should forgive him or if this just proves he never really loved me. Am I overreacting? You are not overreacting. Basically the screenshots of the text messages is just has no right to make decisions for her. And the boyfriend is an asshole for accepting the dad's offer. Let's look at the next one. Okay, this next one is by then_magician_4974. It's titled, "Am I overreacting for asking my husband why he gave his mum my seat at graduation? My husband, 33 male, and I, 31 female, don't argue much. But this one has me quietly boiling. I graduated with my master's last weekend. I worked full-time, raised our daughter, 2 female, and pulled night classes for 2 years to get here. Each graduate was given 3 guest tickets. I gave mine to my husband, my mum, and my sister. Day of graduation, I'm walking into the venue with my cap half falling off, and my husband waves me over, with his mum next to him. I assumed she somehow got a ticket, maybe from another student. Nope. Later, my sister texts, 'Where are you sitting?' I said. 'Aren't you there?' And she replied, 'I didn't get in, no ticket.' Apparently he gave my sister's ticket to his mum without telling me. His excuse, 'Your mum and sister would have both cried anyway, and my mum's never seen you graduate.' I told him that was disrespectful, and he told me I was being overly sensitive and making a scene over a seat. I left dinner early and haven't really spoken to him since. He thinks I'm being cold over something logistical, but I feel hurt and blindsided. Am I overreacting? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That was your special day. That was your graduation that you worked your absolute butt off for, so it's you who gets to decide who's coming. You wanted him because he's your husband. Your mother and your sister to come, which is a very, kind of obvious choice. Of course, you would want your immediate family or your immediate friends or whoever there, because, they're the people who mean the most to you. Obviously, your mum means more to you than his mum, and your sister, etc., etc. His excuse is terrible, saying that his mum's never seen her graduate yet because she's not her mum, she's not a member. She's a mother-in-law, but you know what I mean. If she really wanted to go that badly, she would have bought herself a ticket rather than taking it from her sister. And also, nobody knows how far her sister has travelled to be there, or if she's cleared her schedule and stuff to not be able to get in. That's unfair. But yeah, he has no respect changing your wishes like that, and also saying that your mum and sister would have just cried anyway. Yeah, okay. They would have cried happy, emotional tears. What's wrong with that? That's such a weird thing to say. It's an amazing, event. It's a really happy time. So what if they cry? It's emotional. I don't know, that just hit a nerve, I guess. What a weird thing to say. Okay. This next one is by Umpire Money 3620. It's titled, "Am I overreacting for correcting my mother-in-law when she introduced my baby as our daughter at a family barbecue? My daughter is 6 months old. My mother-in-law is a very hands-on grandma. She watches my baby once a week and loves to buy her clothes and post pictures. That's fine. But at a family barbecue last weekend, she introduced my baby to one of her cousins as our daughter, meaning hers and my husband's. She said it twice, even after I corrected her the first time, like, oh yes, she's our little girl. She's the spitting image of her daddy. I interrupted and said, you mean your granddaughter? I tried to keep it light, but she got visibly annoyed and didn't speak to me for the rest of the day. Later, my husband said I was nitpicking and making her feel unwanted. But I feel like there's a weird possessiveness going on and I needed to draw a line. Am I overreacting? See, this one, I feel like there's not enough context. Because like someone else said in the comments of this post, they're saying our daughter. Okay, yeah, that's weird, it's bizarre, and it's not correct, so that would annoy me. But calling her our little girl, I don't know where the OP is from, but where I'm from, that's just like a common term for like someone important to you, like a little girl, a little boy, like a cherished younger family member, or a cherished, child of a friend or something. Like, do you know the way like they say it takes a village? Like, it's just basically like someone that you care about a lot. Like I said, it might not be like that for OP. I don't know where they're from, but I think saying our daughter and our little girl are two very different things. So yeah. Yeah. Let's go to the next one. Oh god, what's it doing? What's my iPad doing? Okay, this next one is by one-spinach 4421. Okay, so this is the screenshot of an email sent to them by their boss, so let's read this first. It's titled Read Me. Oh, sorry, the actual post is titled Management Decided to Donate our pool tips to charity. Am I overreacting for being upset? Okay, so the email is like subjected Read Me Pool Tips Update. Hello everyone, sending this to everyone in case that you missed our initial email. The pooled tips from last week will not be distributed. Management decided from our last meeting that it will be donated to a charity. If you have any questions or concerns, kindly reach out to Erica. Regards, Joanna. Now, the OP has said in the comments, not the comments, like the caption, I'm genuinely fuming. Is this even legal? How can they decide how to spend our hard-earned money? They know that I really need it for my kids' prescriptions and doctor appointments. Messaged one of my co-workers to see if she also received this email, which she did, but she doesn't seem to be as bothered as I am. I promised my kid I'll cook her spaghetti this weekend and get her the Lilo stuffed toy, and now that is not gonna happen. I genuinely don't know how to feel about this. This is the second time they've done this since I started working there, and I didn't think much about it the first time, but I just hoped that they actually asked for our consent this time, because I need the money. I earned more than ever. No, you're not overreacting, I get that. Like, donating to charity is a very, very nice thing to do, but it should be a choice. You can't force somebody to donate their earnings to charity, especially when you don't know their financial situation. Like this person, they can't afford it. I personally would love to donate to a bunch of different charities, and if I was wealthy, I would, because I'm not really a big spender. So I would, I'd give it away. I'd want to help out, but right now, that's not something I can do. I'm not well off financially. I am struggling a bit, but I would love to, but I can't. Boston Bridge 096. It's titled, Am I Overreacting? Mother-in-law took her emotions out on my 7-year-old daughter and scared her. We visit my mother-in-law at her house twice per year at the same times. Typically, we live in 1,000 plus miles apart. On our most recent visit, we got there to discover her husband had his arm in a sling from an injury and was less able-bodied than normal, and I'd also had his 95-year-old mom move in with them to the only guest room there is, the one we usually stay in, so we had to sleep in the basement area, me, my hubby, and our 7-year-old daughter. I get the sense over the first couple of days that my mother-in-law is a bit more high-strung than usual, possibly because of the extra caretaking she may be doing. Well, anyway, my husband and I leave our daughter with her for 45 minutes while we go out to breakfast together. When we return, mother-in-law intercepts us to tell us our daughter is tantruming in the basement bathroom. This is not like my daughter, especially with strangers, anyone other than me or hubby. She says she told her to turn off her iPad game and start packing up all her stuff, and she said, no thanks, I'll wait for my mum and dad to come back first. And apparently my mother-in-law took that as disrespect and lost it. We were going to be leaving later that day. I told mother-in-law there was no need to force my daughter to do anything, just to enjoy her 45 minutes on our last day there. I then quickly start to head down to the basement to find my daughter and notice all of my daughter's stuffed animals and her clothes had been thrown down the stairs and were laying at the bottom. I became livid. My mother-in-law threw a tantrum that she couldn't force my daughter to do something and retaliated by throwing my daughter's things down the stairs. I then found my daughter in a ball on the floor crying behind the bathroom door. She said my mother-in-law was screaming and pounding on the door for her to come out and she was scared of what she would do if she opened it. She was apologizing to me for not opening it, and it broke my heart. And I saw red immediately that this woman made my daughter feel ashamed for needing safety. After consoling my daughter, I told my husband to help me quickly pack up because we are slipping out of his mum's house and not coming back. He held back and we left, but then the whole way he was maintaining that our daughter could have been playing or being scared, etc. And that just because his mum threw our daughter's things down the stairs doesn't mean she did it out of emotion, that maybe she was just trying to help. This is not the first time my husband has tried to keep some of his loyalty with his mum or dad's terrible behaviours. This time I felt something click in me and I am just mentally/emotionally removed from my husband right now. His family has hurt me in the past, and my husband played defense, but this time it was our child, and I draw the line hard and fast at that. I don't see my husband the same now since this happened. He is saying I am overreacting about his mum's behaviour and I've been quiet and keeping to myself more, just naturally. He's been asking if I still care about him, love him, etc. I say yes, but there is something missing now, seeing him not jump to protect our daughter or support me. I'm uninterested. So am I overreacting? Edit. Need to clarify that mother-in-law wasn't overextending herself by telling because she wanted to hang with our daughter for 45 minutes alone. She was insistent that she wanted to draw with her and we could have a breakfast alone. If I sensed there was danger to this, I obviously would never have left my daughter with her grandmother for those 45 minutes. Okay, you're not overreacting. I was initially going to say, like, this doesn't make the OB, like, an a-hole or whatever, but I was initially going to say, like, you probably should have took your daughter with you to breakfast because you already know that mother-in-law is a bit tense at the minute and, like, really busy and stuff like that. Like, there's nothing wrong there. I think I understand she is in a more emotionally vulnerable state. However, I think it's really important for adults to kind of keep that control and not react a certain way to things around children, because at the end of the day, like, no matter their emotions and stuff, they are the adult in the situation, and I get that it can be really hard sometimes, but you need to try and push it aside as best you can, and, you know, be the bigger person, I guess, be the adult. So, you know, her throwing the child's stuff down the stairs and, like, screaming and pounding on the door just because the kid said she would clean up, like, a little bit later, I don't think that's okay. This one is by Ring Affectionate 9225. It's titled, Am I Overreacting for Not Clapping when my brother's girlfriend announced my baby name at the gender reveal? I, 29 female, and I'm a 29 female and 21 weeks pregnant with my first child. We've kept the name a secret. My husband and I agreed on Ivy early on, and I've just been referring to as baby to the family. Last weekend, my mum threw a gender reveal party and invited my extended family and my younger brother's girlfriend. They've been dating 5 months. After the It's a Girl part, my mum starts bringing out cupcakes, and my brother's girlfriend, 24 female, loudly says, Well, I guess we can finally call her Ivy now. Everyone clapped. I just stood there awkwardly. I never told her. I had told my mum in confidence, because she was making a quilt with initials. I pulled my mum aside and she brushed it off as she got excited. I asked my brother's girlfriend later how she knew, and she said, Your mum told me and I thought it would be cute to announce it. I didn't cry or yell, but I went home early and ignored texts for the rest of the weekend. My mum says I killed the mood, and my brother says I'm being possessive over a name. I'm just frustrated. I wanted to introduce my daughter's name myself. Am I overreacting? No, you're not. That is, you know, really frustrating and upsetting. Because, you know, it's your gender reveal party. It's your daughter. So it's, you know, it's your right to announce the name when and how you want to do it. You know, it's your baby. So that is really disappointing that that was spoiled for you. And I guess it would have also like hurt. She would have felt a bit betrayed that her mother couldn't just like keep a secret. Do you know what I mean? And also like on top of this, like pregnancy hormones and all that, like that makes it like just makes it probably feel a lot worse. So yeah, not overreacting. I would also be miffed. Okay, this one is by Sloves Sweets. It's titled, Am I Overreacting? Should my dad's friend's predatory behaviour be excused because he's gay? My dad has had a friend, male, 28 years old, for a few months now. We'll use the fake name God. I, female, underage, have been around him a few times because of their friendship. And in that time, God has made multiple not safe for work jokes around me, and suggested me doing things like meeting up with older guys, having Tinder, or just overall saying stuff you shouldn't be telling an underage girl to do. conversations about romance. At the time, I felt like my concern was pushed to the side because my dad didn't address it but rather just said, okay. After going out to eat, my dad, brother and Carter were there. Carter had messaged me afterwards saying I was beautiful and that he had loved my hair and nails. I didn't think much of it besides saying thank you. But he had then sent a screenshot of his conversation with another man that had a picture of him full body in just his underwear. I instantly felt awkward having a 28-year-old man sending me a picture of himself like that. I blocked him. I told my dad about it and he had contacted Carter saying how messed up it was. Apparently Carter didn't see what was wrong with it at first because he sees himself as one of the girls. I told my dad that wasn't an excuse. Carter apologised, cried and was very upset about it, along with being worried of losing his license because he's a doctor. I feel uncomfortable and hurt. My concern wasn't acknowledged at first. And now something like this happened. A small part of me feels like it would have been taken more seriously if it was a 28-year-old straight man that had done it. And that the whole relationship felt predatory, but maybe I'm stretching it out too much. Am I overreacting? No. Not at all. I'm gonna read some of the comments because I agree with them and it just, no, you're not overreacting. Carter should know better. He seems to have a fixation with you, wanting to buy you expensive things and suggesting that you meet up with older guys. Sending you a screenshot and a pic of him in just his underwear is completely inappropriate. You're not overreacting at all. It doesn't matter his sexual orientation or whether or not he sees himself as one of the girls. You're underage and not his adult friend. You're his friend's child. He should not be in any way, shape or form sending you or saying such things like that. It's inappropriate. And also the fact that he's a doctor worries me. Like, is he inappropriate to some of his patients? Like, in my opinion, like, surely a doctor should know better, right? Like, I don't know, the whole thing is a bit sus. I don't like it. Okay, so we are gonna leave this video here for tonight. I do have more of these stories saved that I will read in a part 2. But I'm gonna do a part 2 instead of doing a longer video. Just because I haven't had as much time to record lately. Things have been really busy and stuff like that, so yeah. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know as well, by the way. Like, do you enjoy the longer videos or like shorter videos? Like, do you prefer like this length, like 30 to 40 minutes, or do you prefer like the hour-long videos? But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed. I am excited to read the rest of them for you guys because there is some juicy